Peace be with you, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Trevor. Very grateful to have you here. And today's video is a recap of my weekly fragrance rotation, rounding out the end of February 2024, moving all the way up to Sunday, March 3rd. So, Monday, went with this one, L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum. This is about 2 wearings left of this bottle. Really grateful to have a backup of this one, but what you get here is a signature creamy almond with a really delicious cherry note, a little bit of masculine edge from leather and incense, and all around sweet fragrance that I can get behind because of its really masculine nature. Just something that I also really like wearing at the end of winter and the beginning of spring because it has that cherry note. Reminds me of something sensual for the winter time, but also like cherry blossoms in the spring. So that is L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum for Monday. For Tuesday, I went with this one, Iris Nazarena. Really awesome niche iris fragrance. Definitely something that you want to sample before buying because it is niche in the fullest sense, both in quality and uniqueness. This is difficult to paint a picture of, but it reminds me of that bejeweled glove that Michael Jackson used to wear, as if it were left out abandoned in a forest with some morning dew collecting on it. So it does have this latexy style texture that reminds me of a glove. It also has this sparkly quality to it, and then kind of reminds me of maybe what you would smell off of the steam that comes from liquid nitrogen. It has a very dewy, wet, watery quality style steam sensation, but in a cold fashion. And then the base is very woody, so there is a distinctive being out in a woods feeling that this one gives off, but in a dead way, not a live way, like maybe if you were out in the woods in autumn, because it's very dry, woody, with a little bit of a latex and a sparkly quality. And then again, iris, so it's a soapy iris that really ties it all together. Beautiful stuff. Try before you buy, though. It's very expensive and maybe not everyone's taste. Okay, Wednesday I wore 2 fragrances. For the morning on Wednesday, I went with this one, Chanel Egoiste. It was a little bit cooler on Wednesday. It started off in the 30s, I believe. We've been alternating between 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 30 degrees Fahrenheit, back and forth. Sunshine one day, snow the other. But this I wore to my H&R Block meeting to do my taxes. Something office appropriate, inoffensive, powdery, masculine, mature, cinnamon, sandalwood, and rose. This is just a absolute stunning creation from Chanel, and one that I just love more every time that I wear it, just because of its simplicity. Even though it's not very mass appealing, I would say, it is inoffensive and something that I just think is a perfect signature scent that I could wear all year round, save for maybe the high heat. That is Chanel's Egoiste for Wednesday morning. Wednesday evening, this is a new one to the collection, my first full wearing of it Wednesday evening, and it was quite enjoyable. This is kind of like a gourmand fougere to some extent. As you can see, you've got vanilla, amber going on with the base here, and lavender, obviously. A little bit of star anise, I believe, also adds to the sweet quality in here. I almost pick up a little bit of cinnamon, even though I don't know if that is a listed note here. But you do get a really nice shaving cream vibe, but almost as if it were mixed with Cool Whip or, you know, a type of bakery cream to some extent. This is really just awesome stuff. I think it's 1725 from Histories des Parfums, and I believe it's also nicknamed Casanova. Definitely a date night style fougere. Really awesome stuff. Something I'm looking forward to wearing a lot more in the springtime here, and reminds me of a little bit more classed up, less mentholic Mont Blanc presence. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting with this one, if you're familiar with that fragrance. But really enjoyable wear that I got a lot of good wafts in the air from on Wednesday evening. Okay, Thursday was February 29th, so a little bit of a mythical creature in terms of the calendar that date. So I decided to go with this one, Enchanted Forest from the Vagabond Prince. I believe this house is owned by the owners of Fragrantica. And what you get here is a really beautiful, nice, juicy, fruity, Hubba Bubba bubblegum strawberry watermelon style black currant opening. a really kind of dry pine needle mid. There's definitely a textured pine forest, coniferous experience going on in the mid with that nice fruity opening, and then a very woody, incensey base. This, as I was wearing this on Thursday, it did remind me a little bit of Roja's Apex Parfum. So I feel like this and that fragrance are constructed in similar ways, but this one has a juicy red fruit, like a fruit punch style fruity quality to it, whereas that one has more of a citric orange style fruity accord. But they both have this really interesting coniferous sort of patchouli and fir balsam thing going on with the rest of their makeup. Very awesome stuff, this one though. A shame that it is seemingly discontinued, but well worth trying to hunt down. This is definitely a unicorn fragrance that I particularly enjoyed wearing on Thursday, February 29th. Okay, Friday I like to wear niche fragrances, and it was also March 1st, so I went with this one here, Green Irish Tweed from Creed. Somewhat of a spring classic, I would say. Definitely worth the hype. This is not the newest bottle. This has a plastic cap on top, but it is one of the 100 ml bottles from post like 2020 production, I do believe. And just really beautiful stuff. I get lemon verbena, violet leaf, lavender, oak moss, ambergris. Really just kind of paints the picture of a green rolling hills with a little bit of a dewy fog early in the morning. It definitely has a little bit of a cold cooling quality, kind of minty. I believe there might even be a spearmint note in this fragrance. But just a stunning composition and truly a masterpiece. One of the very few fragrances in my collection I would give a 10 out of 10 for. And it was the only fragrance last week that I got a compliment on. So that was Creed Green Irish Tweed for Friday. Okay, Saturday. So March was fully here, and it was the 2nd, so I went with this one, Tom Ford's Beau de Jour. Really love the lavender in here, one of the best lavenders in my entire collection. So creamy, so sweet, so sensual. The patchouli in here adds a really nice earthy style sweetness that really just makes this come together in a way that some of the other clones of this haven't been able to really do. I do like Davidoff Zeno, and it's probably a better pick for the price difference, but this one just has a certain liveliness to it, a vibrancy that one just doesn't quite capture. That just makes this one super endearing to me. I will say both Zeno and this fragrance probably have a little bit or too much of a mature appeal to ever be considered something that I would say compliment pulling or mass appealing. But in terms of people that like to wear fragrances for themselves, I think this is a must try because it just exudes class and elegance, but also just has sweet aromatics and just so delicious of a fragrance, I would say, despite being something more medicinal, bitter, fougere oriented. It's a delight and a delicacy in terms of fougères. That was Tom Ford Beau de Jour for Saturday. And then for Sunday, I did a haul video recently. I think that was on Saturday, so I was eager to get a full wearing of one of them. This was my favorite out of the 4 fragrances that I picked up. This one also has a more mature vibe, definitely for the guys that enjoy those more vintage style accords and fragrances. This is a citrus aromatic from the 50s. I believe the release date of this was 1951. The author of the James Bond books used to wear this as a signature scent, and really what I get is really nice florals, soapy citrics, or soapy florals, soapy citruses. And what I mean by that is you get citruses that are reminiscent of cleaning products like Pine Sol and the ilk, and then just kind of like a creamy sweetness underneath all of that. This reminds me a lot of Boucheron Pour Homme, but a little bit more classed up, cleaned up, a little bit less oak mossy, and Really easy to wear. Didn't really get the greatest longevity out of this one. I only got maybe about 4 to 5 hours, but that was only on my first wearing. Could have been going nose blind to it. I did pick this up for right around $50, but I got a good deal. They usually run around $64. I'm still going to be wanting to get some more experience out of this one to decide whether it's worth that price. I think 50 is a good deal on this one. I'm not so sure about 64, just given the somewhat old school nature of it. But I really like it. I definitely can see myself going through at least half of this bottle by the end of this spring. So that was my Sunday scent today, Floris 89. Shout out to Clemens for the recommendation on that one. Okay, so that was my full rotation ending February, moving into March. Really appreciate you sticking with me to the end of the video. Let me know what your rotation was in the comment section down below. Let me know if you've tried any of these, what your experience with them is, and if you have any other recommendations for me based on these fragrances, what you think I might enjoy as well. So, as always, take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.